Thomas the Tank Engine wouldn't stop being a nuisance. Night after night, he would keep all the other engines awake. I'm tired of pushing coaches. I want to see the world. The other engines didn't really take much notice, but Thomas was just a little engine with a long tongue. One night, Edward came to the sheds. He was a kind little engine and felt sorry for Thomas. I got some trucks to take home tomorrow. If you take them instead of me, I'll let you push coaches in the yard. Thank you, said Thomas. That will be a nice change. Next morning, when both driver and fireman agreed, Thomas went off happily to find some freight cars. Now trucks are silly and noisy. They talk a lot and don't attend to what they are doing. And I'm sorry to say that they play tricks on engines who aren't used to them. Edward knew all about freight cars and warned Thomas about them, but he was too excited to listen. Thomas buffered up to the freight cars. The guard blew his whistle. Beep, beep, whistled Thomas, and they set off. But the cars weren't ready yet. Ow, ow, he groaned. Wait, Thomas, wait. But Thomas wouldn't wait. Come on, he fussed. All right, don't fuss. All right, don't fuss. Thomas went faster and faster. Whee! He said, as he sped through Henry's tunnel. Hurry, hurry, said Thomas. He was feeling very proud of himself, but the cars grew crosser and crosser. Presently, they reached Gordon's Hill. Look out for the train. Steady, boy, called his driver. They soon reached the top of the hill. Beep, beep, we're stopping, called Thomas. No, giggled the cars. Go on. And before Thomas had knew it, the trucks had pushed him down the hill and were laughing and rattling behind him. Stop pushing, hissed Thomas. But the cars just said, Go on. There's the station, thought Thomas. What should I do? He sped through the station and peered into a siding. I must stop! Thomas opened his eyes. He found that he stopped just a few inches away from the buffers. Just then, a familiar shadow appeared. What are you doing here, Thomas? Asked the fat controller. I took Edward's trucks for him, sir. Why did you go so fast? I didn't meet you, sir. I was pushed. You've got a lot to learn about trucks, little Thomas. After shunting them around here for a few days, you'll know almost as much about trucks as Edward. Then you'll be a really useful engine. In the summer, the island of Sodor gleams in the sun. Percy had been working in the docks all day and was tired of the smell of fish. "Come on, Percy," said the driver. "We gotta go to the sheds." "Please, sir, can I have a wash down first?" "Sorry, Percy, but there isn't any time. The fat controller is waiting for us at the sheds." "There is to be a festival of flowers," said the fat controller. "And this sign saying Best Dressed Station will be awarded to the winner. Please help with the arrangements." All the engines were excited. "My favorite station is for Farquhar," said Thomas. "Mine's Maithwaite," said Toby. "What's yours, Percy?" Percy was too tired to think properly. "The docks." "Ha, you can certainly see that," said Thomas. "The docks are full of fish, not flowers." "Fine, ours still end." "That's my home," said Toby. "That's why I like it, especially when you're there and not here calling me silly. Good night." Percy felt proud of being sparkly again. His freight cars were being filled with vegetables and flowers. "These are from Maithwaite," said the driver, "to display them on the platform." On the way, Percy saw Harold. "What's Harold doing here?" hoped Percy. "I haven't time for a race." "What's that?" asked the driver. "Why, bless me, it's the ram." "Now we'll be late," said Percy. "I shouldn't know Harold was trying to tell us something." "I know just how to get him out of here," cried the driver. "Food!" He found some cabbage leaves, and the ram was left munching happily. "Please, can we go now?" At Maithwaite, the driver told the station master about the ram. "I heard about that ram," he said. "He's always hungry." Soon the station was decked with flowers. "Maithwaite's gonna win first prize for sure." Percy went off to the side when no one was there. "Yeah," yawned Percy. "Time for his news." But it wasn't. "We better see what all that noise is about," said the driver. They went back to the station in a gasp. It looked like the ram decided to make the station his next meal. There was more trouble. "We can't get into the waiting room," cried the passengers. "Why not?" asked the station master. "The ram won't let us." They looked at the ram, and the ram looked at them. "He isn't alone," said the driver. "Please let us out," said the boys. "We're sorry we were naughty." "And would you look at that," said the station master. "It was the boys who caused the trouble, not the ram. The ram was just keeping them at bay." "We thought it was fun, but it wasn't. We'll put it back." A few days later, the flight controller sent some of the engines to see the best dressed station. "I'm sorry, Toby," whispered Percy. "You made the right choice." The flight controller had another announcement. "There's something else to be awarded to this ram. Here you go. I'll give you my own hat if you don't like it." Just then, here the helicopter landed. "Well, it looks like I won't be eating my hat even if I had to," said the flight controller. And everyone laughed, and the only thing the ram had to say was a content hiccup. Percy went to the quarry to get some freight cars full of rocks. Snow and frost laid everywhere. There wasn't a sound to be heard. He found Mavis, the new diesel engine, resting in the shelter of some rocks. Cheer up, whistled Percy. Mavis was remembering the time where she had trouble with freight cars. Manager says I don't listen to advice, she complained. He says I have no business starting down Toby's line. Toby's a fusspot. Toby's forgotten more about freight cars than you'll ever know, said Percy. You must put his freight cars where he wants them. Then you'll be a really useful engine. Now if you'll excuse me, I have to take these freight cars to the yard. Mavis liked Percy, but she still wouldn't listen to his advice. Why shouldn't I go down Toby's line? The siding arrangements were awkward. To get the freight cars to where Toby wanted them, Mavis had to go through multiple journeys. Mavis had made a plan. If you use the teeniest bit of Toby's line, she told her driver, we could save all this bother. The driver, suspecting nothing, agreed. He allowed her to go as far as the first level crossing. A few days later, the weather had changed. With less snow, the quarry became busy again. And sometimes, the freight car load became so long that Mavis had to go beyond the first level crossing. Now it was time for a plan. She would go beyond the level crossing without it seeming her fault. Can you keep a secret? She asked the trucks. Yes, they chattered. Can you bump me at the level crossing and tell no one I asked you? The trucks agreed, but while Mavis was away, Toby decided to shunt the freight cars himself. The freight cars decided to bump him anyway. Toby reached the first level crossing. His brakes came on. But go on, yelled the trucks. Toby was away, with the freight car screaming and chattering behind him. No one had knew that the melted snow turned the river into a torrent, and the bridge above it was close to collapsing. The bridge was now a tightrope across the water. Stop, yelled Toby. The driver tried to apply the brakes. It was all or nothing now. The driver braked hard. Toby stopped, still on the rails, but now treading the tightrope over the abyss. Mavis was horrified and went to the rescue. The men chained Toby to the rock, and Mavis pulled away the freight cars. She then went to rescue Toby. I'm sorry about the freight cars, said Mavis. I don't know how you were able to stop them in time. Well, said Toby, my driver told me about circus people who tread over tightropes, but I never fancied doing one myself. Soon the fucking controller arrived. A very smart piece of work, he said. Mavis, I heard you doing well too. Well, sir, she faltered, it's my fault about the freight cars, but if I could... Could what? Asked the fucking controller. Go down Toby's line sometimes. Toby said he'll teach me what to do. If your manager agrees. It was arranged. Mavis is as happy as can be, and the fact controller thinks she's a very useful engine indeed.